ride Ultimate Adventure, guys. This trail is really good. You thought it was going to be easy? It's not.
It's a 1,200-mile journey across 3 states, 4 parks, and scores of trails, so break out the duct tape and prepare for some overnight thrashing. Hello, everybody. I'm Stephen Cox, and this is the 2004 edition of 4-Wheel & Off-Road Magazine's Ultimate Adventure. The expedition is led by Rick Pewe in our 2004 Toyota Tacoma project truck, and 5 lucky magazine readers, including Corbin Cowan's '98 Isuzu Amigo, Brian Richmond returning this year in his '99 Dodge Ram, the '97 Geo Tracker of Mike Hagan. Aaron James drove a 2001 Ram 1500 and the '84 Jeep CJ7 driven by Keith Bailey. Title sponsor BF Goodrich sent their full rig with us, as did the folks at Dynatrack, and we're ready to kick off the 5th edition of 4-Wheel & Off-Road Magazine's Ultimate Adventure.
Okay, everybody want to gather around? Have a driver's meeting. Good morning. Welcome to the first official day of Ultimate Adventure. Hope you're all ready to have a great day of wheeling and fun. Yeah? Yeah! There we go. You will get dented, scratched, and muddy today. There's no two ways about it. If you don't like that, well, you shouldn't have been here in the first place. Tom, what can you tell us about today?
One of the first things that we're going to see is a little hollow called Beggar's Gulch. Walt Gilbert named it because you will be begging to get out of there.
We ready to rock and roll back there, everybody?
Our first trail came at Illinois' Rockport Off-Road Park, 75 miles north of St. Louis. The park has 1,600 acres of trails to be explored, and locals from the Two Rivers Jeep Club were on hand to help us plot out the day's carnage for our 20-rig convoy, which, by the way, contained a number of drivers whose home turf consisted of rocks, not mud.
It's close.
I'm Tom Wombles, the owner of Rockport Off-Road Park. These boys that are used to rock crawling, this is a whole different ball game for them. Some of these bigger rigs are going to find out what Pike County trees and tight trails are all about. Oh, by the way, welcome to the tree.
Yeah, welcome to the tree.
Bit of a dent.
What happened here, Brian? What happened?
The tree got my way, and the tree won.
4-Wheel & Off-Road staffer Jeff Nassy drove what we call the Raisin, our pet name for last year's project truck, a 2003 Chevrolet Avalanche. Now, in Jeff's defense, the Raisin was thoroughly beat up before he ever got in it.
We're not in Colorado anymore. Where are we?
It's almost level.
Hammer on it, baby. Hammer it.
Go, 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 go. That did not sound good, son. Looks like we either lost a locker or a left rear axle shaft.
Great. Heading up the hill and kind of got off just a little bit, bounced back a bit, and took out the driver's side rear axle shaft.
Did he just say it was driver air?
So that's what happens when a C-clip axle breaks.
The wheel, the axle shaft slides right out of the end of the housing. Nothing to hold it in.
What else do we need? Sockets.
You guys are cheaters.
You know it.
I use hand tools if I can get it on.
Better than a day at the office.
We're stuck on the tree.
Trail boss Tom Wombles warned us that the big, wide rigs, like Brian Richmond's Dodge, would shave some fenders at Rockport. Brian had dinged up his rig in last year's event and had since fixed the body damage and repainted it lime green. Now, recent rains had soaked northwestern Illinois, leaving us with tidal waves of mud, slop, and virtually no traction. Trail boss Tom finally abandoned his rig altogether to spot for Debbie, his lead-footed better half, but apparently his heart was still in the driver's seat.
Listen to me. You ain't gonna do that. Other way. Look out your front tire. Stop, stop. Third gear, everything you can do, you're gonna go to the right of the camera guy. Third hard left.
Our traveling party full of rock crawlers had a terrible time in the V-notches of Rockford Park, where soft mud and sharp turns frequently force drivers to winch in order to wrestle the front end of their rig through a corner or to pull themselves out of an angled notch.
Air lockers are not broken. The circuit to activate the compressors for the air lockers is dead. So we have four-wheel drive, but they're open differentials on the front and the rear.
We just came through 2 obstacles in Wolves Den, and we're making our way on up through here, getting ready to take the 3rd one. Had a couple vehicles on their side, had a little carnage, but we're getting there.
Oh, yeah.
There's a virgin trail that they just told us about, and we're trying it for the first time. It's apparently pretty steep. He said that when we get to the bottom, just thank the 4-wheel guys.
About 2:30 in the afternoon. We're about probably 2/3 of the way through the trails.
This is the first day on Ultimate Adventure. We're having a great time. Just went down a hill that would rival the first part of Lions back here. So
Had a little carnage today. The full size have had a pretty rough go today.
Broken drive shaft and we gotta drive 300 miles tomorrow. Something's gotta happen. I wonder what a cop would think when he sees this go by. What?
The name of this trail hasn't been named yet. No one's made it. We may name it Mr. Pewe Hill.
If I make it. Come on! So unnecessary.
Well, right at the moment, I'm wondering if I've made a fool out of myself. We'll get out here in a minute.
Wow, it's just tough walking up this thing. This is a virgin obstacle. They say if you can make this obstacle, you can name it.
Someday we may come back to Rockport Park and find out what name was finally bestowed on this virgin trail, but it won't be Pewe Hill.
Winch me, baby. Can you pull cable?
Well, this virgin obstacle claimed its first damage on the Ultimate Tacoma trail trinket.
Check this out.
Well, I don't know how close I got, but it didn't feel like it was too close.
Man, I gave it my best, but it just didn't want it today for some reason.
He's making time with the wall.
Check this out.
Danny Grimes, better known as Grandpa by the Ultimate Adventure crew, annihilated the local mosquito population when his rig hit an angle so steep that the engine oil poured over into the upper cylinders. The team would later find much more severe engine damage than they ever expected.
Okay, let's secure that. Oh, turn her off, turn her off, turn her off. Cut.
I'm laying down.
Those who survived the day finally limped back out of Rockport's muddy trails, but couldn't resist just a few moments on more familiar territory. And at least one of our readers managed to break his rig after the official trail day had come to an end. After their foray on the rocks, our teams paused for a free wash from the helpful folks at the local fire department, whose 1968 Jeep M715 turned a few heads. We then headed back for a good night's rest at one of the few hotels that we would enjoy all week.
Welcome to day 2 of Ultimate Adventure. Today is our first road trip day.
The first order of business on day 2 was to determine the exact extent of the engine damage on Danny Grimes' Jeep.
Hydraulic, the piston bent the rod and it broke. All the guys just got it on the trailer. We're going to go fix the motor as best we can.
Danny, in the true spirit of things, they are going to pull down that motor, pull out the piston and the rod, and stick it all back together and run on 7 cylinders. It is possible to do that, and they're going to do it.
Supposedly the original owner hung himself in the bottom of the Jeep, but that's not the truth. We are officially off to the road.
Day 2 is a travel day. Trail boss Tom Wombles leads the Ultimate Adventure teams on a 4-hour scenic tour of rural Illinois, through dirt roads, forests, an occasional horse and buggy, and finally crossing the state boundary by way of an old-fashioned river ferry, which carted us across the Mississippi River.
We're here at the Winfield Ferry in Illinois. We're going to be crossing on this little ferry, going over to Illinois. This is one of the best parts of the trip. We're going to pack all the 4x4s on this.
But I can't swim. I'm afraid of the water.
Hey, I thought we had to wear these. Why don't you guys have your life preservers on? Rick said we all had to wear these. Did you guys put them on?
Wheelie!
Part.
Oh. Our steering pump bracket's broke, but we're getting it fixed.
A midday stop was necessary to take care of some unscheduled maintenance. Chris Durham was working on Danny's broken rod. Tacoma builder Fred Williams was working on an axle shaft. A magazine staffer was checking out a rear differential. A drive shaft on Tom Boyd's Bronco needed attention, and even more frustration for Danny Grimes.
How's it going over there, Danny?
It's going. Going back together right now. Getting ready for the big test. Let's see what a 5.3 sounds like on 7 of them instead of 8.
Marking up this bracket here with some grease, so the diff cover's going to hit it. Because if the diff cover hits that bracket, it's going to lock the front differential when we're driving down the highway. We don't want that to happen.
Dual purpose. We're pressing on another wheel bearing onto the Ultimate Tacoma.
We had an oil seal at the end of the axle that started to leak.
Probably the mud that got in there kind of chewed it up. So we're replacing both sides just to be safe.
So we're here at
Toombs Repair.
Toombs Repair in
Mount Sterling, Illinois.
Mount Sterling, Illinois.
Probably takes another half hour. We'll be back on the road.
And we're gonna go break it again.
What are we building?
Nuts. Check this pile out of Rick Pewe's broken parts.
Well, remember, this is coming down.
Helping Tim out there on the Samurai on his power steering bike.
The toughie, huh? But we got the other part.
One shiny. Someone said egg for nice.
Oops. How do you end up getting everything here you need?
I don't know.
You just have to have it?
We got a big pile of parts out there.
Yeah, spare Dana safety.
Pulled the whole motor apart, pulled the number 8 piston out, cut the rod off, put the piece of the rod back in it, put it back together, left the rocker arms out, push rods out. We're gonna run it on 7 cylinders for the rest of the week.
Okay, everybody listening up? We've got everything fixed. First, let's thank John Toombs for the use of his repair facility. Now, first off, what do you hear?
Car started.
And we're gonna go for it.
One last piece when we're on our way.
We're lighter now.
Have a good adventure, guys. See ya.
With a beautiful day of scenic driving coming to a close, the convoy had to move on toward our next stop, Cliff's Insane Terrain Off-Road Park near Marseilles, Illinois. Danny Grimes' 7-cylinder Jeep couldn't make the road trip, so our editors bent the rules and permitted him to trailer his rig, which is normally a major no-no in the Ultimate Adventure, and catch up to us later in the drive. With all of our drivers now back into the fold, the Ultimate Adventure train made its way into camp and found a most welcome sight, the BF Goodrich support rig waiting with lights on and tools ready.
I'm Tom Wimberly. Welcome to the Cliffs. I'm going to be your trail boss tomorrow, taking you down to the campsite tonight. I hope you have an awesome time.
Thanks, guys, for hanging in there all day. It's been a long one. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Remember, it's not an early wake-up call. So here's Jones. Wake-up call. Here's Jones.
Drivers meeting. We got a long, long, hot day ahead of us. But before I get started, I want to introduce the owners of the park, Chris and Steve. Why don't you come on up? Tell us about the place.
All right, well, we've been open 3 months. We started working on this about a year and a half ago. We got about 300 acres rideable here, about 370 acres total. We encourage tree savers, but if you got to take out some of the little ones to get out of someone's way, don't worry about it. We're still making new trails. We got a lot of work to do. It's a project. Every year we'll be making more trails. So you guys probably have met Tom. He's my trail manager.
Today we're going to start out with a couple of downhills over here. With it being dry, I think you guys are going to have a real easy day compared to what I heard you went through down in Rockport.
Got any predictions?
It's gonna be dusty.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of damage. That's my prediction.
10-9 on that. I did not hear who's my mid gunner and who's my tail gunner.
Jerry and the Black Samurai is in the middle.
Still groggy From the first night under the stars, the Ultimate Adventure teams broke camp and fell in behind the insane terrain trail boss.
Okay, 10-4 on the...
We're getting ready to take the Ultimate Adventure guys out on trails out here and see if they can fit. It's pretty dry today, but I'm sure they're going to have a good time.
It's always best for the trail bus to get stuck first.
Gotta do some winching already. First trail, first hole. Yep.
Alright, what do you want to do? We got 3 minutes left.
Wind stop!
I hear that's called Jimmy's Crack. I just want to say thank you.
You're welcome.
It sure kicked our tail.
Call that Jimmy's Crack. You can think that big boy over there.
Jimmy's Crack. The mud sure does stink in Jimmy's Crack.
Yeah, we don't like the mud out of Jimmy's Crack.
We're about 20 feet from camp and we already got a good first hole going. Let's see how the rest of the guys do. We threw a bunch of logs down in the mud to make it interesting.
Oh no, get those logs out of there.
So far we rolled 3 tires off, broke a hub, I heard an airbag break over there, and we had a rollover. That's not bad for the first hill.
All right, Ultimate Adventure guys, this one trail is really good. You thought it was going to be easy? It's not. This first mud hole has kicked our tail. We got 3 down and 1 made it through. The rest of us, we're going to get 2 or 3 tries, and then that's it. You're getting the hook. We don't want to spend all day on one obstacle. This is called Insane Terrain Off-Road Park, the Cliffs. Look at this, we got a tree wrapped around this front axle. Ultimate Adventure, we don't go to any of these weenie places, we go to the real thing.
The lockers did it, man. That thing was hooked up.
Well, hit the wrong line.
This is a real fancy piece of equipment. The engine is huge. It has a 600 cubic inch supercharged engine that puts out 3,000 horsepower, and that's a lot. And incidentally, these trucks are steered by independent braking on the back wheels, so you can bet the driver is going to be real busy.
This is probably the most popular wheelie truck in the nation.
Well, that's right, Jen. This is Alan Gaines' Orange Blossom Special. It's a 1937 Chevrolet, and it's a masterpiece.
Alan is from Georgetown, Kentucky, and the Orange Blossom Special is powered by a supercharged 454 cubic inch alcohol-burning Chevrolet engine.
He's got the front end up in a real power play, and he's got the line. I bet he's going to get some good distance out of this.
That's for sure. He's really on it as we watch him bring it down, and it looks almost as though he's trying to park it in the first balcony. And as you can tell, these fans really turn on to the excitement of these wheelie trucks.
Now, watch this truck open it up. You know, most trick trucks can raise the body up from the front, but this truck, Psycho, does it from the back.
This is another one of the most sought after of all the wheelie trucks. It's driven by George Stennett from Grand Blanc, Michigan. It's a 1965 Ford Econoline.
There it is. He's up. The Chi-Town Hustler is just getting it on down the road. The roots don't look too bad right now. There he veers over a little bit. He got out of the throttle for a second. That could spell trouble, but he's back into it. Still not enough.
I guess it's just a bad day for the Chi-Town Hustler.
This is called Quick Trip, a 1946 Jeep.
427 cubic inches, a supercharger, easily 1,200 horsepower machine, tied with a safety cable to catch him in case he gets to the other end too quick.
Now, this is Michael Cottle. He is ready to have at it. Watch him carefully now. Big wheels, four-wheel drive, going through the mud to the left, to the right, and he is through in 3.12 seconds.
Michael Cottle from Newport.
And if you can hit the right combination on any given night, you can be the winner at a four-wheel drive truck pull.